Good morning. Today I figured we'd do something a little different. Let's make a loaf of bread. I know what you're thinking. Last time we made a loaf of bread. But this one is a little different. It has a few more ingredients and I find it has a little bit more flavor. Just like the previous recipe, this one is also a no-knead recipe. So let's get started. Like last time, I preheated my oven to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and then I shut it off. I'll explain that later. Inside the microwave, I warmed up 1.5 cups of milk. I had it in there for about 1.5 minutes. Now I'm going to add a good 1 heaping tablespoon of butter. I'm going to take my whisk and mix these two together. Now I'm going to add 1 1/8 teaspoon of instant yeast or bread machine yeast, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 egg. Now I'm going to whisk this all together until it's thoroughly combined. Now I'm going to add 3.5 cups of flour. I use bread flour, but you can use white flour as well. Now I'm going to take this little wooden spoon and combine it all together. When combined, your dough should look something like this. It has a spongy consistency to it. Now I'm going to add some saran wrap to the top of this container. And I'll put this in the oven. And now I'm going to put this in the oven that I preheated. And I'm going to add this drying towel here to keep the oven door slightly propped open. That way the excess heat could come out and not overcook the dough. We need a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit for the dough to activate properly. So we'll leave that in there for 1.5 hours to 2 hours and see how it looks. See you soon. So it's been about 1.5 hours. Let's take a look at the dough. As you can see, it has risen quite nicely. And that's what we want. We want it to at least double in size. Now I'm going to take my spoon and with the handle of it, I'm going to degas the dough. I did mention this is a no-knead recipe, but I am still going to knead the dough a little bit just to get the excess air out of it. I've already buttered the bottom and the sides of the pan and formed the dough into roughly the same size of the pan. Now I'm just going to force the dough into the corners of the pan so that when it rises a second time, it will take the shape of the pan. I'm trying to spread the dough out as evenly as possible. Now we'll cover this and let it proof for a second time for 45 minutes. In about 30 minutes time, I'm going to come back and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So it's been about 45 minutes. I set the rack to the middle of the oven and I preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at the dough. It has risen nicely. We'll let that cook for 30 to 40 minutes and see how it turns out. See you soon. So it's been about half an hour. Let's take a look at the bread. Oh yeah. Hot, hot. Now, one thing I like to do is to butter the crust. Buttering the crust makes it soft. If you like a crunchy crust, don't butter it. Well, that's it for this recipe. Until next time, enjoy.